Hey, thanks for listening to this Trainer Spotlight episode on Fitlete Radio. My name is George Pagan III. Let's meet our coach.
So, my name is Sujal Sancheti. I live in Dallas, Texas, with my husband and two daughters. I'm originally from India. By education, I'm an architect. But life had other plans. At 32, I was diagnosed with prediabetes, high cholesterol, and sluggish thyroid. I still remember sitting in that doctor's office thinking, what? I don't even eat meat. I've never been overweight. How can I have these numbers? So that's when I turned to understanding more about nutrition, strength training, and some mindset work. I got certified as a sports nutrition specialist, reversed my own markers, and went on to become a competitive powerlifter. So now I run a coaching company called NutriFit World, where I help South Asian vegetarians, mostly professionals, burn fat, balance their blood sugar, reverse their cholesterol, and build strength without giving up their cultural staples like rice, roti, and even fruits. My mission is very simple. It's strong bodies, sharp minds, and steady sugar. So I coach through my signature system called the Plant Power Metabolic Makeover, which focuses on science, sustainability, and self trust. Absolutely no gimmicks.
I know you're an awesome coach and take your job seriously, but to get to know you a little bit more, can you tell us a funny story about your life that happened outside of coaching?
Okay, here's the one that still cracks me up and low key haunts me. So I went on a hiking trip to Glacier National Park in Montana with one of my best friends. And at the time, I was working with my powerlifting coach, Jeff Trevor. We were peaking, and I had just finished a heavy training block. And I told him, hey, how about we just delay the lead hold? So I'll just take it during my trip, and once I'm back, I'll get straight to the next block. No big deal, right? So we ended up hiking one of the toughest trails there. And on the way back, I saw my knees were not the same. They were screaming. My IT band was a mess. I could barely walk downhill. I just couldn't understand what's happening. And my friend, who's not even a coach or lifter, was totally fine. Meanwhile, I'm the strength coach crawling down the trail like a baby goat. Back at the hotel, she had to roll out my IT band with a balm stick while I was legit crying like a toddler. So she kept me teasing the next day, like, you sure you're the strong one here? So, yeah, lesson learned. It was definitely a bad idea and a big mistake because I wasn't recovered. And I'll always remember. And whenever I go on a hikes, now I make sure that I'm well stretched and well recovered.
We can't train everyone exactly the same. Our clients come to us having different life experiences and sometimes force us to think outside the box when it comes to their training. As a coach, how do you problem solve with your clients who come to you with some common aches, pains, injuries, some physical limitations, or previous traumas so they can still get the results that they want and the ones that they came to you for?
Absolutely. We can't train everyone the same. Most of my clients are South Asian professionals sitting long hours, often dealing with back pain, knee issues, or some chronic stiffness. And some come to me with arthritis or early stage osteoporosis, carrying years of fear, not just pain. So I don't just jump into fixing them. I slow down, I listen, because sometimes that pain isn't just physical, it's emotional. Is the fear of getting hurt again, or the belief that the body just isn't capable anymore. So I always want to remind them that your body is not broken, it just needs a different kind of attention. I still remember one of my clients had early stage osteoporosis and had been told by her doctor for almost 10 years not to lift, not to move too much or bend or squat, just play it safe. And so she did. But that kept her stuck in fear. So when she came to me, she was terrified of movement. I still remember holding her hands and walking her through the most basic patterns. We didn't touch weights for first few weeks. We stacked two plates over a bench and made her squat feel safe. We worked on gentle mobility and more than anything, we were just rebuilding her trust. So what shifted everything for her was the trip to Paris. Because when I asked her, like, what is your why? Why do you want to do this? And I always like to ask this question to my clients when they start their journey with me, like, what is your why? And she remembers, like, her whole family hiked up a hill to reach this beautiful mountain spot. And she had to take a lift alone because she couldn't do the climb. And that moment broke her heart. She felt left out, isolated, and it hit her. Like, I don't want to be the one watching life from the sidelines anymore. So I believe that's where the real change begins. Not in the program, but in the emotion behind that goal. So I always ask my clients, okay, that there's pain, but why do you want to move again? What's on the other side of that? And once we find that emotional anchor, everything shifts. So we don't go hard, we go smart. And some of my strongest, most mobile clients today, they are the one who started with the fear, pain, and years of hesitation. But they moved forward anyway. And just one small rep at a time, and you can shift this.
Just like we are, most of our clients are spending time on social media and can get information from other people in their family and social circles. When questions come up during coaching calls and training sessions, how do you address some of the common misconceptions around nutrition and exercise with these clients?
Oh, yes. This comes up all the time in my coaching calls. Most of my clients are professionals, but they're also part of, big WhatsApp groups, big families, and whole lot of social media noise. So they'll come in saying things like, my cousin just lost weight on keto. Should I try that? Someone told me I should stop eating fruits because this will spike my sugar. One reel said I should fast till noon and only eat protein. Then there is this herbal diets and all kinds of nonsense, right? So the first thing I do is slow down and say, let's take a breath. You're not wrong for being confused. There is so much information. Um, you're just being given 100 opinions and you haven't had the chance to learn what actually works for your body. So then I start unpacking the belief with them. I bring in real evidence, research on plant-based or vegetarian diets and their connection to metabolic health. So then I show them how carbs like rice, fruits, and lentils actually help you. They are not your enemy. In fact, the problem isn't in what you are eating, it's how and why you are eating it. Like eating fruits on the ice cream while sitting on a couch at midnight, totally stressed out after skipping meals most of the day. Well, that's different from having mango early morning or, even after a balanced lunch with your dal, uh, beans, and veggies. So then I go deeper, especially when it's about advice from family. I'll say, like, your mom or uncle isn't wrong. They're just speaking from their limited understanding and maybe even their own fear. So we learn to decode advice with compassion, but we really want to stay laser focused with science and strategy that we have opted for. So I also help clients, reconnect to their own results, and I'll ask, okay, so since you stopped eating fruits, are you feeling better? Is your energy more stable? And often the answer is no, that didn't do that good. So this opens the door to relearning and not just myth busting. So it's not just about correcting the false claims, but uh, also helping them build resilience against noise. Because once they understand why something works, they stop chasing trends and they start trusting themselves.
Our clients can come to us for many reasons, and often they tell us in their consultations or new lead questionnaire that they have multiple goals or they're trying to work on a couple of things. Usually it's not just one sole specific thing. How do you approach goal setting with these clients who have multiple objectives when you ask them about what their goals are?
Oh, yes, this is probably every metabolic assessment call I've had. Clients rarely come in saying, I just want to lose 10 pounds. It's more like, I want to lose weight, fix my cholesterol, build some muscle mass, get stronger. And oh, yes, I'm pre diabetic, so please fix my A1C. And also, my sleep is off. I feel bloated after every meal. So, the first thing I do is normalize this overwhelm. And I tell them it's okay to have multiple goals, but you're not going to chase them all at once. because if you try to fix five things at the same time, you'll end up fixing none and you'll just feel overwhelmed. So then we zoom out and look at the bigger picture. What's driving all these symptoms and what's the root cause? So, my Plant Power Metabolic Makeover has these four steps. The first one is root cause identification, where we uncover the hidden reasons. Why your body is resisting the change. It can be your gut health. It can be your just hormonal blocks. So we lay the foundation for that long term success in this phase. The next phase is your metabolic restoration. So really priming and making sure that you are eating enough, you are uh, able to actually build that muscle mass, getting a lot of energy, and then we move to the fat loss acceleration if required, where the focus will be purely on the fat loss, without any cutting of the carbs. And then, of course, the last phase is your lifestyle integration. How I teach them how to integrate these results and make sure that you are still keeping them on when the life happens. So, someone is tired or inflamed or not sleeping and wants to build muscle. We don't jump into this lifting 5 times a week. So, we are going to follow a framework. Uh, like I call it like a goal stacking, with non negotiables. But we will start with blood sugar regulations, better meals, improved sleep, and then we layer in strength. So it's like building a house. You need the foundation, energy, stability, recovery before you put up the walls, right? That is coming with fat loss and muscles. And the coolest thing is, once they start seeing results like better digestion, less fatigue, looser clothes, they stop rushing. They start trusting, they understand this is a process, and they start enjoying this process. So, yeah, from chasing quick wins to the commitment, that is where the real transformation happens. And that's what we thrive in NutriFit World.
I believe all coaches should have similar baseline knowledge before starting to work with people. And I'm building Fitlete to help bridge some of these gaps that exist in our exposure to education. What experiences or qualifications do you think are crucial for coaches to have in order to deliver the best service they can for their clients?
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I think baseline education is non negotiable, especially if you are working with people who have real health concerns like insulin resistance, PCOS, high cholesterol, thyroid issues, or even emotional eating. Because at this point, it's not just about fat loss anymore, this is about people's lives. So yes, certification is a starting point. I'm a certified sports nutrition specialist, and I have done deep work in plant based nutrition, metabolic health, and strength training. But that's not enough. I think what's crucial for every coach is first is lived experience. Like either you have gone through your own transformation, maybe you have struggled with pre-diabetes like me and high cholesterol, and you know what it feels like to be frustrated, stuck, and confused. And I know how to help someone who's vegetarian and in a similar situation. And of course, that this gives me empathy and perspective, not just a protocol. So having gone through your own transformation, or at least have been able to help other people going through their transformational journey, uh, it's very crucial for any coach. Second is evidence-based education, right? We have got to stop echoing what worked for us or what's trending on social media. I believe coaches should study real physiology, understand how metabolism works, and read up. There is so much good literature present, and I mean, that means reading research papers, following experts, and constantly learning. And the third and most important part, I think, is your skills, your coaching skills. Because knowing the science is one thing, right? But knowing how to communicate it with clarity and compassion, that's where the magic happens. And to be honest, I've learned so much from attending live seminars, workshops, and fitness conferences. I love learning from other coaches, especially one who challenge how I think. Um, we can't grow if we're stuck in one lane, right? So the science is evolving, and so should we. That's why I love what you are doing with Fitlete. Is here, you're building, because now new coaches don't even realize what's missing in their toolbox, and having access to the right knowledge in the right order. This is what is going to help coaches truly deliver the impact. And we are all here for the impact, right?
Our industry is evolving every step of the way, and we're getting to the point where it's essential to have some sort of technology within your business for both the experiences you can deliver for your clients and your ability to grow sustainably. How do you use technology to assist you in your coaching as a coach and behind the scenes as a coach that nobody really sees?
Absolutely. Tech is non-negotiable part of coaching today, isn't it? I remember when I started off, I think all I had was a simple worksheet like Google Sheet, Excel sheet, sorry. That's it. And now look at us. I mean, we have so many tools in our toolbox, which is great actually. So for me, tech helps in two major areas. One is client experience and then the back-end operations. So on the client side, I use a private coaching platform. I have my own app where they track their meals, habits, workouts, and even blood sugar readings if needed. So this gives them accountability without overwhelm. It's not about like really micromanaging, but it's also about building awareness, right? This helps. I also use WhatsApp or even my private app chat for community check-ins and some voice messages, which creates high touch points even when we are not on Zoom. That's huge for my clients because the community reminders and real-time support really matter. uh, Talking about behind the scenes, tech helps me stay organized and also, of course, human at the same time. I won't lie, there have been times where I have been, overwhelmed, I have burned out, and I just felt like, why am I doing this? So I started this to help people. And where am I helping? I'm just, doing this tech work, which I hate, but technology definitely has evolved and I used automation for onboarding, check-in forms, reminders, and habit tracking. So, but then I also always layer in personalized voice notes. There are some Loom videos sometimes, some custom feedback. So I'm not just saying like saving time, but I'm trying to also scale it simultaneously. I also use tech for education, like building out some clients' learning portal where they can bridge short trainings on topics like insulin resistance, eating out, how to uh, curb your sugar cravings, or some strength form cues. So that way, they are not just following a plan, they are understanding the process. So, on the business side, tech gives me this structure to grow, and I use some project management tools. I work GHL, definitely a huge help. So, at the end of the day, I tell my clients and team tech is not the coach, it's the bridge. It supports the relationship, it doesn't replace it.
Sujal, thank you so much for coming on and sharing some great info about yourself. Sujal is an absolute badass. We met at the Raise the Bar conference in Dallas, I'm pretty sure the first day. We sat in a similar area during the conference, and as they do in this specific conference, is they have these little icebreaker sessions between some of the presentations that are kind of casual, a little bit structured, but really easy to get to know somebody who who was a relative stranger moments before. She really impressed me right off the bat with her confidence in knowing who she wanted to help and exactly why she wanted to help them. Sometimes at these conferences, you meet people, and I do this too also, but you meet people who don't really know how to verbalize who their target audience is, who they want to help, or why they're in an industry. And she had that down pat, dialed in, and it was really impressive. And this is on top of the story that she told you in the beginning, which is also really impressive. um, so I'm glad you got to know her a little bit more through this episode. And check the show notes to see how to connect with her best. That's all for this episode. If you want to learn more about Fitlete and possibly get your own episode, visit fitlete.com. That's Fitlete, Fitlete.com. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon.